Good afternoon, ARAC family. Good to be with you this Thursday afternoon. Over the last week to 10 days and over the next week coming up, we've been having what we're calling Moving Forward Together meetings. And they're meetings and they've been great. A lot of you have participated. And if you haven't signed up or been a part of one, I'd highly encourage you to do it. Your feedback and your input has been tremendous. But essentially, these meetings are a chance for us as leaders to interact with the church about the vision for the year, for 2021. The things we believe God has put on our hearts for the year ahead and how we're going to execute on those and what the plans are. But it has caused me to think a lot about this whole idea of vision. And I was reflecting on something that I read a couple of weeks ago in a book called Spiritual Leadership. And in it, the author was comparing vision and revelation. And I had one of those aha moments, one of those that caused me to actually just physically stop reading and to stop and to think. Because what the author said was this: vision is something that people produce. Revelation is something that people receive. And I had to sit with that because I thought about it. If we could spend all of our time planning and visioning and considering our facilities and our gifts and our talents and at a personal level, the goals that we have for the year and how we want to go for God. But if we do all that and there's been no revelation from God, so much of the time the energy is wasted and there's no point to any of it. And so as I thought going forward, this is something that was so important to me and something that's important to our church, which is to seek God for revelation. We need him to reveal himself. And I thought revelation breaks down into three areas, both personally and for our church. One is we want him to reveal who he is, what he's like. We need to experience and have that revelation of his character and his love and his compassion and his holiness. And we need that. But we also need a revelation of who we are. And in our experience with him, we need him to reveal what my heart is really like and what he's wired me to be. And then finally, we need revelation on where he's working, so we can come alongside and be a part of the things that he's already doing. Well, that sounds good, but I think there's two things. One's a requirement from us and one is a promise from him that goes into this whole idea of revelation. And one is that revelation will never happen outside of relationship. God loves to reveal what he's doing to us. He likes to reveal things about himself and about us, but that only happens in the context of relationship, of being with him, of spending time with him. And my friends, my family, there is no shortcut on this. And I wonder if I'm willing to do whatever it takes to hear his voice and to get his revelation to direct what I do in my life. It's a high calling and a heavy responsibility. But there is a promise attached to it, and it is simply this: that when we are operating according to what God is revealing to us about what he's doing and about us and about him, that is when his yoke becomes easy and his burden becomes light, because he's doing all the heavy lifting. And that's when fruit happens. That's when there's an impact to our life and our church. And so my prayer, as we go through all this, as we continue to think about and to plan ahead and to consider what God is doing, that we as a church and we as individuals would be willing to do whatever it takes to hear the revelation of God in our lives and in our church. And when we do, we'll be able to go together forward in a way that is fruitful and impactful and beyond anything we could imagine. So spend this time, this week, and in the days that follow, being those who pursue relationship and revelation from Jesus. Until next time, have a great week.